See. Okay. Hello, everybody. Oh, we're a little sideways. Let's see if we can straighten you guys up a little bit. Where you can see. Can you see okay? Just want to make sure you get a little bit of the stage. There you go. Now we are cooking with a little bit of gasoline. Just a little, not too much. All right. There we go. So, as you can see, I have lots of decks here that I have invited to this particular reading. And, we'll get into that in just one second. But before we do, I do have a little bit of housekeeping that I wanted to do first. All right. So, no one else is going to. I do have to toot my own horn. Okay. No one else is going to. But before we do that, okay, the second order of housekeeping, please, you guys, hit those like buttons for me. Okay. Please, please, please. As you heard the fireworks out there, it is a birthday affair. So happy birthday to all of those Cancers out there. Okay. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. And because it's your birthday, there is a free gift for you. You have to be subscribed to the channel. All right. So please, please go and subscribe. And for subscribing to the channel, there is a free gift for everyone this month. All right. For Cancer season. And Cancer season is the code word. All the instructions are on the actual video announcement. So it's in the playlist and you'll see it. It stands out. It's like turquoise and purple on the thumbnail. Okay. So there is a special gift for everybody from Queen Cancer Tarot to all of you. Happy birthday, Cancers. Okay. It is a free 1-question reading. Okay. That's what it is. And it's a pre-recorded reading. So you have to send me your question. And you go to the website, you'll set it up, and I will email it to you. Okay. So that's how that works. Next order of housekeeping. Please go and help support us on She Reads Tarot and Tarot Talk Live. I am trying to reach a goal of 100 subscribers, and I want to do that this month. So please go and do that. Subscribe to the channels if you have not already. Make sure you guys also put a yellow heart in the comment section. A yellow heart. It can be any heart, but a yellow heart stands out. And if you do, you will automatically enter yourself in the chance to win a reading. Now, this is Tarot Talk Live. I keep confusing this with my other channel, Queen Cancer Tarot, which is my main channel, and I'm doing a giveaway. But for every time that I see you guys enter in the drawing, I will put your names in this bag here. And there got to be hundreds of entries in here. Okay. And it's unlimited entries, unlimited chances to win. I will draw 3 winners every 2 weeks. So it's a bi-weekly drawing. And yeah, please do that. All right. Yellow hearts, or you can hashtag win in the comment section, whatever is easier for you. If you don't have a yellow emoji, any heart will do. But I will enter you into the drawing every time I see you guys put a heart in the comments. Okay. All right. So I do that on my channel, Queen Cancer Tarot, and I do that on my other channel, She Reads Tarot, as well. So enough of that. Let's get started with this reading today. Okay. Disclaimer time. Disclaimer time. Everything that I say on this channel is for entertainment purposes only. I am not here to accuse anyone. I'm not talking about anyone's guilt or innocence because I don't know. Okay. This is merely for your entertainment purposes only, and mine as well, but it's for entertainment purposes only. Okay. So don't get it twisted. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that. Let's get to the reading about Nancy Guthrie and what is next, you guys. First, I just want to say that this is absolutely frustrating that we're this far in and we are where we are, but I can't say that I wasn't expecting it. And I also will have to tell you that in the previous readings, the things that I have seen in like reading number 2 and 3, go check it out because I came in on day 3. So go check out my early readings. All of those things are showing up in this case. Multiple photos, multiple ring cameras, multiple videos that were getting spoon fed at us. I feel like there's more. And see, the fireworks just happened again, which is confirmation. This is not the 4th of July by any means. Okay, we're now at the 11th. Okay, yeah. So we're some 7 days later and we're still hearing fireworks, which I feel is ridiculous. But here we go. Happy birthday. But the fact that right when I said that, that was the point that I was making, is telling me that I'm not the only one that is thinking and feeling that. Okay. But what's happening? What's really going on here? Okay. Why are we this far in? Now, the end of, I think it was like number 6. So I was thinking either the end of spring going into summer. So, but it was more end of summer. So it was July, the months of June and July would be significant. And I feel like shortly after, but I feel like things are going to only pick up speed. So is there more? Where are we going? Where is Nancy's energy going to take this case ultimately? Where are we going to go next? We're going to take a close look at that. Okay. What's next in a few aspects? But I want to focus on what's next with this. And we're going to look at it in the investigation aspect with the FBI / Pima County. We're going to look at it in the family aspect. Okay. What's next with Savannah? What's next with and her husband? What's next with Annie and her husband? What's next with Cameron? And if he's married his spouse? What's next with those aspects in this case is going to tell us a story as to where things are headed. And if I'm not mistaken, if I'm right, we're going to be headed in a different direction than what y'all are maybe anticipating based on the way things are going. But if it's not based on the way things are going, you all may anticipate where it's headed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like things are going to take a shift, a sudden shift. There's an energy of we're all going to be looking at one thing, and that one thing is going to cause something to go in a different direction. Okay. Hold on one second. So one day we're going to do a deep dive and we're going to go back into some of the older videos. And I'm going to show you a reference to a few things that have been very interesting that have come up much later on. And you all tell me if it's not striking to you as it was to me. And it stood out to me then. It gave me chills then. Some of it made me literally cry. Literally. And when I get emotional like that, it's not for purposes of my own. Some of it is because it's like, okay, yes, I feel, but at the same time, it's more so of I'm feeling it as if I'm experiencing it, y'all. So, a whole different level. I can tell you right now. Okay. So, it's just one of the gifts that I have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have the ability to feel what others feel. You know, my mom is having a situation with her neck. And so I, of course, will take that same aspect on in my body in a therapeutic sense because I have the ability to I have the ability to maneuver things into where it's like, okay, I'm good again, almost like healing myself in a certain way. But I wonder if there's a purpose for that. We'll talk about that on another video. But let's move on. I want to know first what's next with the investigation. The FBI investigation. So, first of all, before we get into that, let's just say there are some very strange yet cryptic comments made by Cash Patel, and I want to present this to you guys. And I want you to tell me what you think. It's just a 27-second video. Okay. So let's just check this out real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can share my screen. Okay. Here it is. Okay.
I have a question for the FBI director, if you don't mind. Reuters is reporting that the ransom notes that were sent regarding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance are fake. Are you able to confirm that those have been determined to be fake?
I'm not going to comment on that. We are continuing to assist that investigation. We've always been in an assist role. It's a state investigation led by the state authorities.
You tell me what you think about that. Literally, you tell me what you think about that. I think that that was a bit much and not anything at all at the same time. The reason why I say it's much and not anything is because on day one of this investigation, which was absolutely one day before our country went to war, this same person came out as though he was coming with the full force of the American law. Like he had been given full authority by the very president himself, and the president himself wanted the Guthrie family and America to know that no stone would be unturned. Literally, like these were major announcements, and he literally, it felt to me as though it were some sort of a political insertion for optic purposes. And yes, I put quotes in there, optic purposes. Okay. Right. So that, me and you, we're here. Yeah. I see you type energy. You see me. Yeah. I see you. All right. But I'm kind of side eyeing you because the timing is just so cryptic and sketchy and creepy. Like, why would an event like this that would startle America or get America's attention or take America's attention off of the fact that literally we're going to war with Iran? Like, how is this happening? And I'm mentioning the two things together. Yes, I am bringing this into this because there are reasons for many things that we've talked about in different ways on this channel. And it has been spoken of in other places, and it should be obvious to you all as well. It's not anything that was not thought of immediately. I thought of it when I heard that this had happened and knew that that's who she was. I was like, oh, yeah. Well, you don't have to tell me how this happened, but that's just me. Y'all, I don't know how long I was muted out. Probably ever since I came back from the video that I played. Let's see if I play it again, you guys. Let's see what happens. I don't know how long my camera was muted, but I just realized that it was. So I'm going back. I'm going to replay the video. If I have to edit it out, I have to edit it out. It is what it is. But what we're going to do, and I'm going to say this again, because again, I don't know how long it's been edited or quiet, but there's a disclaimer here. I've already shown you the disclaimer. I don't have to go over that again. But we're not talking about anyone's guilt or innocence here, okay? I'm just reading the energy and I'm reading the cards, okay? I am doing this for entertainment purposes only, and that I wanted to re-mention, okay? Now, getting into this reading, what's next? What's next with the investigation as far as the FBI goes? And we have to question the FBI for a very major reason, which I'm going to replay the video for you again in case we didn't see it. I was muted before. And I'm going to play, and then we're going to discuss what's next with the investigation with Pima County. But I'm going to cue up a video. It's just a 27-second clip. So if you can bear with me in just 1 second, I'm going to do that. But we're going to look at what's next with the investigation overall, what's next with Savannah, what's next with Annie and her husband, what's next with Cameron, what's next with these people collectively. All right, for some major reasons. And I prefaced this for a reason. Now, what's interesting about this clip that I'm going to play for you with Cash Patel is basically what it is. And it's basically him being asked a question about where things are going with Nancy Guthrie and him being very evasive and basically dodging the questions at all. Let's let you guys see it for yourself.
Cases that we're charging, so yeah.
I have a question for the FBI director, if you don't mind. Reuters is reporting that the ransom notes that were sent regarding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance are fake. Are you able to confirm that those have been determined to be fake?
I'm not going to comment on that. We are continuing to assist that investigation. We've always been in an assist role. It's a state matter being led by the state authorities.
Cases are cases that we're charging, so yeah.
There you go. And I guess I must have been muted from very early on because it didn't mute me after I did it this time. So I don't know what happened, y'all. I'm not sure, but I'm sorry for those of you. If I don't edit this properly, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But as you can see, Ash Patel obviously, basically, not answering any questions. Basically, like the Pima County is the one who's the authority. They're just assisting now. You see what I'm saying? See, here's the thing. We were going to war with Iran the day, if it wasn't, it was the day after she was taken. It was announced that weekend of the Olympics, right before Savannah was going to get to work on the next biggest thing that she's done in her career. Fancy that. Can you imagine her succeeding after having given a certain interview of a particular F.B.I involved individual that basically caused a takedown of the biggest loser in history? One of them. What are the chances? I don't know. But they are not great. You see what I'm saying? That it's just a coincidence. Okay. There is a bigger picture behind the big picture. Everyone's looking at a big picture, but there's a bigger picture behind that a few have glazed over, some have prodded into, some are just terrified of it because it's like they almost feel the answer. I feel like I'm part of that team. There are some that dare to go after this, and I want to know who they are. I want them to rise up. Maybe not rise up publicly, but I want them to make public information public. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the light is going to have to come out at some point, but we're going to get into that later, y'all. I know I'm getting cryptic on you, but what's cryptic about these strange cryptic comments made by Cash Patel? Like, you tell me that, because now all of a sudden they're in the background of Pima County. Really? You're the background now? I never thought the FBI was the background of anything, right? Every time that I've watched every single movie as a kid, every murder she wrote, every Hawaii, I don't care what it was, every movie where there was an intervention of the FBI in any case, it always teed off the local departments. Why? Because the FBI took over, baby. Once the FBI came in, they shut it down. Okay? There would be no interfering in certain aspects. You know, you turn over your information, you would work hand in hand until they were through with you and didn't need you anymore. You know, and it's not like that, but at the same time, it was kind of like that. And this is the movies, but the movies are all based on real life, y'all. Don't let them fool you. There's a reason why a thing is a thing. You see what I'm saying? We'll talk about that in another Tarot Live too. But there's a reason why a thing is a thing. So speaking of, why are they obviously taking a step back? That's what I want to look at first. And tonight I've got some friends, a new group of Oracle cards out. We have our Deep, Dark, and Dangerous cards back on the table again. And we have our Witching Hour Oracle back on the table again. Okay, so we're going to look at those. I kind of like these cards for this particular situation and case because it has given us so much information from initially. These were kind of the first cards that I used primarily for this Nancy Guthrie case. So I feel like we need to continue using them. Okay, so now we're starting off with the FBI. Okay, what's next with the FBI investigation? Why are they taking a step back? Right? And this one in the reverse. And it says grief. Grief in the reverse. Well, because they're really sad, or they're not the ones grieving, or there's no longer, they're taking a step back because they're no longer concerned about this in a grieving aspect. Are things about to heat up? Has the evidence that Pima County is in control of, which is the DNA, has that DNA evidence now come back? The familial DNA that everybody was downplaying and forgetting about because we were talking about other things and people were saying that people were no longer suspects. And maybe that was a ploy because that was Nanos saying this. And maybe he was opening his big mouth too soon, trying to be a wise guy. Could it be? Could it be that his involvement is not necessarily one of causation, but one of cleanup, more of a ego aspect and mess up and then having to go over the mess ups and then just kind of flailing at all of it and making everything look absolutely terrible. Do you see what I'm saying? So just a nut job of a case is what people are going to think when they look at the facts and when they look at everything, because it's going to look like such a show, you know? But we have grief in the reverse here. And what's interesting is it says banshee. That word banshee reminds me, and it is what they used to, it was a more of a derogatory term of what I feel colonial used to call Native Americans. And it was during the time of clashes, and I think that there was an actual tribe, and they called them banshees, right? Because of the, and I have to get the actual meaning, but there's something behind that banshee. And I think it has to do with resembling the way that they would cry out. Okay, the way that they would cry out. And I think it was a form of grief. So during like the funerals of these Native Americans, maybe, I'm not sure. I'm going to do some research, but if I'm not mistaken, banshee has to do with the sound that they would make. And this says grief. So I'm thinking during a period of grief. That's just my interpretation. I do not know for certain. I am going to go and do my research, okay? But that's just from what the energy that I'm getting. But it's in the reverse, so it's telling me that the crying has ended. There is no more crying. It's no longer a situation of these grieving people. There's something in the water that's mucky, and I'm not quite, it's almost two in a way for me. It seemed cold. Didn't it to you? Doesn't he seem cold? Like if I were the family and I were seeing him make these statements, I would feel slighted in a way. I would feel abandoned in a way. I would feel like, oh, okay, so you're leaving me with the loser of Pima County. Really? Is that what you're doing? You're taking a back seat? Is that what we're doing here? Y'all, you tell me. Let's see what else do we get out of here. Why are they taking a step back? Cirque du Soleil, circus. Is that what I'm getting? That's kind of the energy I'm getting. It says alchemy. Alchemy is a term that basically relates to magic. Okay. It's a form of magic. Making things happen, having a hand in making sure that things get done. Putting things together. Okay. Wow. So are they taking a step back because This is a problem. This is what really bothers me because it's like, you know how they say in the whodunits, if you want to figure out who done it, see who's furthest away, who is placing themselves furthest away from the situation, the issue, the scene, the person, the problem, just distancing themselves. You know what I mean? Who is all of a sudden doing this? Okay. That's going to be one of the first cues and clues to finding your whodunit. To me, that's going to be, for me, that's going to be one of the easiest ways of figuring out whodunit. I'm not accusing anyone, but I am saying that it's so easy to say that we tried our best to insert ourselves, but we weren't allowed because they would absolutely know they weren't going to be really allowed. And especially with this crackerjack of Pima County that they were dealing with, they pretty much already knew. And with his prior run ins with just everything, including his own legal officials in his own state, I mean, they should know that he was going to be a hothead and that they would get exactly what they didn't want. You know what I'm saying? They were going to get what they didn't want, in quotes. They didn't want them to react this way to them. Oh, really? I think you knew. I think FBI, Mr. Cash Patel, Mr. President Donald J., you knew that it would be a big fiasco. You knew that this would be a circus gone wild. Hence the word circus, hence the wild, the animals in the wild. Do you see this? It's almost like, and you see this dark haired lady who's just kind of like out there, okay, at the mercy of it. And it's all happening, but it's all orchestrated. It seems like it's all a circus, right? But it's an orchestrated circus. Lord have mercy. That is what I'm getting here. Alchemy and cirque. This is an orchestrated circus. It looks like it's a wild scene, but it's set up to be this way. Grief in the reverse. They're taking a back seat now because there's really no grief if you're the ones responsible for the entire fiasco. And the reason why we're even dealing with this is all alleged. I'm just making points here, and this is what the cards are showing me. Now, you tell me what you think. Let's look under the deck here. So we have respect under the deck. Doesn't that person look like someone who is basically they're ready to go to war, but we're going to say this person has on a lot of very expensive armor. Okay, so this is a top official, is what I'm getting here. We have respect here, and who likes all this gold that you know? I don't know. What top official cares about adorning things in gold? But here we go. It says Anubis, okay? Respect, number 25 underneath the deck. And then we have shadow, Okay, so this is an official, but it's one that wants to remain in the shadows or one that is behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. There are officials that are behind the scenes that want to remain in the background and not the foreground of the situation. We have chaos as well. Chaos. So this card is also a situation of someone who's they're a cause of the chaos, a manifester of the chaos, manipulating this energy to make it appear as though it's out of control when it's really exactly what was expected to not be expected. You know what I'm saying? So, very, very wise. People thinking, trying to think ahead of the game, right? Playing situations out. That's why you think they call it a situation room, because we're going to go through several different situations here and we're going to play them out to the end. And we're going to come up with ways to spin each situation and depending as to what happens. And then we're going to give them names. We're going to call them projects, Project Apple, Project Pickles, Project Pickle Juice, whatever it is, we're going to give them codes. And when it's time for us to deploy certain maneuvers that we've talked about in our situation room, we will send these signals in the various ways that we have set forth ahead of time. You see how that goes? That's interesting. Interesting. So there's one question. Now, what does Pima County know? Okay, that's going to be the next question. And now we're going to look at this deck here. We're going to look at the tarot messages as well. But what does Pima County know? What does Pima County know? What do they know? Because there's got to be a reason why Nanos is now appearing to be so smug, so confident now. There's just this overall energy of he knows something or that there's something that he has on, you know what I mean, to hold him up or to bolster his credibility that he has lost. Now, perhaps he did the pretend game. He took information, put his stamp of approval, and sent it off the directions he wanted it to go, knowing that when it came back, that was likely the information that was going to put them right at the forefront of solving this and cracking the case. And I feel like we may be there without us even knowing, or some of us may have slept on it. I don't know if y'all have slept on it or not, but I know that I have been waiting for somebody to stop forgetting about the fact that they said the familial DNA process takes a while and that they sped it up for the purposes of this case, and that the company, the lab they sent it to in Florida is one of the top labs, and that they can get the job done. And I believe that. Why did y'all forget about this? We are months in now. And like I said, they sped it up and said that this is a process that could take years, but they sped it up for purposes of this case. Could you imagine the resources that they probably put towards this? We'll see. What does Pima County know? Bewitched. You're under a spell. Y'all, look at this and you tell me what you automatically are seeing. I'm seeing feminine energies. I'm seeing one that appears to be angelic, one that appears to be not so much, and they appear to be close. Y'all, what the who, what, where, why, and when? I know, I'm sure you're thinking what I'm thinking. You don't have to put any names. We're not accusing anyone of anything. But under a spell, and my question was, I've always said that these two sisters know more than they're letting on about things, about each other, about the overall situation. And I feel that Pima County, the ties that have been obviously broken between the family and Pima County are for a bigger reason than any of us are thinking. I think that there are a couple of things that can be taking place here. The biggest and first is something that we're going to talk about at the end that I kind of touched on at the beginning. I don't know if y'all caught it, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that connection because I feel like there is a bigger picture behind the big picture. But this here, I feel like is a big picture right here within itself. Y'all tell me how you feel about this. You're under a spell and bewitched. And this is what Pima County knows now about this case. That perhaps two female family members may have cast a spell over them initially. I don't know. You tell me what you think. So we have bewitched. What else does Pima County know? So we have 37 in the reverse, and this is crossing the veil in the reverse. Once again, look at what it says, y'all. Mourning in the reverse. This is an energy of, look at this. There is one female here and another female that appears to be there with this female, but not there, y'all. And someone that has crossed the veil, and someone is looking at themselves in the mirror, but they're not mourning over this loss. Y'all, what the heck? Number 37, 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 represents an ending. You guys, how close were the sisters really? Y'all, please go and check out the readings that I did on. I did 2 breakdowns of Annie's life over the years from the time she was 5 all the way to now, the age of 56. And I went over Savannah's life through the years, her energy, from the time she was 5 up till now, the age of 54. Of course, everything is alleged that I speak of in the readings, but they were absolutely dynamic. Go and look at that. I highly encourage you guys to go and check out my previous readings throughout this entire case. If you have not, please go and check them out and share the videos to get this information out there. The more we share, the more this energy, the more the information will be kept in the forefront, and the more we're keeping this case out there, you guys. It can't hurt. Do us a solid, share the video, and like the video. I want this information to get out because this is just too, it's just too much. It's too much. We have broken branch in the reverse. Number 29, heartache. y'all, in the reverse. And a broken branch, to me, if you think of a family tree, but it's broken, one of the branches is broken because it's rotted, right? No one realized that this is like a dead situation on this tree, and now it's broken. This is in the reverse. There are some family ties. There are some broken branches on this family tree that I feel like things are unraveling, is what's happening. I feel that Pima County is aware that there are some broken branches that have been kept under wraps, right? Under wraps. Broken ties within the family that maybe only some of us know about. So that's interesting here. Under the deck, we have the hanging bones. Seeing the signs, y'all. Number 10. I can't even believe it. Number 10 again. This is truly a situation where I feel like things are coming to, and we're going to get some closure here. The hanging bones here, seeing the signs, this is just too much. Like, it's almost like they can see this clearly, and it's, why is it on a tree? Why are all these references, like all of these cards, I don't believe have trees in them. No, they don't. They really don't. They really do not. But I'm telling you, these that we're looking at right now do, for a reason. For a reason. And the fact that it's number 10 and then 29, number 11. And then we have number 10 again here. And look, y'all, number 11 coming up again under the deck. Enter at your own risk. Pause. So seeing the signs, and now they're pausing. Now there's an energy of enter at your own risk. They don't want anyone entering into this situation because now they're trying to keep things tight-lipped. Now there's the energy of they have something. I feel like it's almost like, you know how I look at this is like if you're playing Uno, or if you're playing, like just a game where you're gin rummy. We're playing a game where there's certain cards that you know are going to put you either like out of the game, like you're going to win, or you're going to have an edge up, but you don't want others to know, right? So it's an energy of having like this confidence, and you're extra super quiet. You're not being as like, you know what I mean? Obviously in the game and interacting with others because you're trying to pull back. It's a sense of this. The hanging bones, enter at your own risk. 10 and 11 again, and we have 10 and 11 right here, y'all. Look at this, y'all. We have 8, and then we have 10 and 11, okay? But the 10 and 11 is what I am looking at here, crossing the veil in the reverse. That is just too crazy. And then we have enter at your own risk. And you see someone who is outside in what appears to be like it looks like a nightgown to me. Or yeah. and she's barefooted, of course. But she's out in nature. It's dark, and there are shadows out there. So enter at your own risk. There are bones that are hanging. Now, do you feel that the FBI is watching? They know things and now they're watching for certain people to come and enter themselves into the investigation in certain ways, maybe going by the crime scene for certain reasons. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe trying to get information on financial information of Nancy's. Okay. Like, I don't know. There are different aspects and things that, you know, one could look at if they were trying to look for a suspect to hone in on someone, having information about them. So before we move on, we're now going to look at the tarot messages, okay? Whoa. So we're going to start off with the FBI. We're going to start off with the FBI with Banshee, grief in the reverse. Interesting, grief in the reverse and mourning in the reverse. Both of these cards. So the FBI is taking a step back because of grief in the reverse. And the Pima County knows that mourning is in the reverse. I mean, you guys tell me what you think. But for me, that is a big tell. Why are these cards like all over the place? Hold on, y'all. I just knocked the cards. Some of them are upside down. Okay. So here are the two cards that flipped over. Why are they obviously taking a step back? Okay. What is next with the FBI's investigation? Why are they taking a step back? We have the Hermit, y'all, and the Ten of Pentacles. I cannot. If anybody is taking a step back, it's the Hermit. But why? What does the Hermit really represent and reflect? Self-evaluation, and it's a card of examination. This card back in the day used to be called the Examiner. Just going to tell you right now, the Hermit is a card of the Examiner, one that just not look at others, but it's looking at themselves in a situation. It can also be reflecting on how others are looking at them. So one that kind of wants to stand back because they don't want others really focusing on them, or they're focusing on others and they don't want people looking at them, looking at others. You know what I mean? So they're hermits. And we have the Ten of Pentacles, which reflects a windfall. Things are happening very quickly. Things are coming down very quickly. We have obviously a lot of financial stability that is in jeopardy. Okay. Things can change. And with that Hermit, there's an energy of money talks. Money can tell people when to do things and when not to do them, especially when you have the power of an entire Department of Justice. Allegedly. Interesting. Interesting, those two cards. Under the deck, Temperance. Yep, it's time to be quiet with the Fool. And this is major, two major arcana here. It's time to back down because there's a whole new agenda. See, that Fool is all about travel. It's all about taking a journey. It's all about someone taking a risk or going on some sort of an adventure. There's an energy of someone who is not intending on staying around long. And it's also an energy of it's time to, quiet things down. We need to simmer things down and focus on something different. And that is going to be perhaps a whole war. You tell me. Scientists going missing. You tell me. There's things happening. Could the scientists have gone missing to perhaps assist with war situations? Okay. I mean, that's just me saying what my intuition leads me to say, but it is what it is. It's just for entertainment purposes only, once again. So let's see here. So we have respect here, okay? And we have shadow here. Depth is what it says in shadow. Depth. So deep. Ooh. Shadow governments, the deep state. Does that come to mind? With respect and high honor and all this gold? Y'all tell me. You all tell me. That's just my intuition. And it's going crazy right now. So tell me about respect and deep shadows. Ooh, y'all. The strength card. What did I tell you? The strength card. Major Arcana number 8. And that is someone who's very confident, someone who is very powerful, someone who, what they say goes. What they say goes. Great confidence. And under the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so giving me rebellious power and rebellious. Also, someone who does what they want to do. They come rushing in, taking action because they can and they're powerful and people respect them. And that 10 of Pentacles also speaks a lot. You see what I'm saying? The 10 of Pentacles talks, okay? Money is going to be talking here. Look at what I said, y'all. We have the 7 of Pentacles here in the reverse behind this Knight of Wands. So I'm telling you right now, this particular Knight of Wands, with that 7 of Pentacles being in the reverse, this is somebody who, I'm going to say they are very impatient. They want to get things very quickly. Okay. This is someone who is refusing to give up, right? They don't want to lose. There's an energy of if they not having what they want or not getting something right away is going to indicate them having to surrender or give in. This is somebody who's not willing to surrender. They're not willing to just give in without a fight. Okay, with the Knight of Wands energy and the Strength card. This is somebody who is coming in and they're confident about this. And they're also, there's something behind them that's driving them forward with that Knight of Wands energy. That's a bit of arrogance coming through. Okay. But both of those cards are about a very extreme, confident individual. Like they're very confident about the action they're going to take. And this to me is also someone who's been sanctioned by a higher authority. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Anubis, I'm sure, was a very, very top official. See what I'm saying? Because, like I said, they're not just suited up in armor, they're suited up in gold armor. Okay. Only a king would suit their security up in this manner, and only certain kings suit their security up in gold, I'm sure. Allegedly. Y'all, I don't know. And the fact that there's this chaos here, so this is interesting, right? This is interesting. So, chaos, author of chaos. I just think about it. Even in the book of Revelations, I mean, when they talk about Lucifer and certain things like that of that nature, it's causing chaos. The bottom line, the ultimate goal is to cause chaos. It's a distraction. The chaos is a distraction from another agenda, perhaps. Tell me about chaos here. Okay. And it says heartbeat. Heartbeat. Okay. Chaos. This dark cloud is what it looks like, but it's almost like a winged creature here with a dark wings. But let's see. Tell me about chaos here. Well, this came out in the reverse, y'all. We got the 10 of Wands in the reverse. So this is beyond, this is someone who's taking things too far, to the point of no return. This is an energy of someone who knows that there's no going back. You know what I mean? This is someone who's out of, it's like they're out of options, if I can say. It's like they have gone too far, and now this is the only option, is to cause major chaos, but they have to do something that is completely over the line, something that is so reprehensible that it would cause so much chaos, so that people would look over here. And while people were looking over here, something was happening over there. You see what I'm saying? Under the deck, look, the 10 of Cups. And now we have the 8 of Wands. See? And we have the Queen of Pentacles and the World. Y'all, that bothers me. With the Queen of Wands right in the middle, making all of this happen, back to the 8 of Pentacles. And here we go with the number 8 right here. 35. Bewitched. Making it happen. What bothers me more is the Queen of Pentacles and the World, because I feel like that's Nancy's energy. I feel like there's an energy of Nancy had to go. There's an energy of 10 of Cups, family, okay, changing, okay, 8 of Wands, moving family, taking family away. 10 of Wands in the reverse. Like I said, going beyond the point of no return. Like this is something that is no one could even imagine happening, right? Queen of Pentacles and the World. People all over the world are going to be emotional about this situation. And then there are other things going on. The Queen of Wands, this is a meddler. This is someone who is in the middle of this situation. And the Eight of Pentacles, they're the ones that have been making all of this happen. See what I mean? All along, getting people to look over there because they're getting away from the situation, right? That's why they're taking a step back. That was the question we asked. You tell me what you think. Now, moving on to Pima County. What do they know? Why do we have bewitched here? Why do we have bewitched here, y'all? And number 37, crossing the veil. So tell me about bewitched and crossing the veil, which is mourning in the reverse. Like what? You're under a spell. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So we got the Five of Wands in the reverse. So this is an energy of someone who's reaching out after a conflict, someone who is making amends, avoiding a conflict. Someone is trying to avoid getting caught, perhaps. Three of Pentacles under the deck, y'all. I'm telling you right now, there's the energy of people are now cooperating. The Pima County knows that there's some sort of cooperation between people, okay? And people are working together. We have the Two of Pentacles here and the Sun. So there's the energy of going back and forth and trying to get your facts together, or an energy of, you know what I'm saying, in cahoots, working together. Okay. Bewitched. Okay. Under a spell. Okay. With the Sun. So juggling the truth, y'all. The Two of Pentacles juggling, and we have the Sun. Someone's juggling the truth. They're working together and getting their stories. They're fact checking. There's an energy of the FBI knows that there's been some sort of collaboration between family members on facts in this case that make no sense here. Do you see what I'm saying? The Six of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. So again, y'all, this is an energy of knowing information, being very one-sided, and with that Four of Cups, this is almost like acting like, oh, it's no big deal, or, you know, the family is not involved, but they're really, it's like they know more. There's energy of they know, the family doesn't know, and maybe they want to keep it that way. Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe they're playing some sort of reverse psychology. Make it make sense. But let's see. Because obviously they feel that they've been under some sort of spell and now they're waking up. We have the hanging bones now, and then broken branches in the reverse. So you tell me, because there was all this talk about the family they were protecting the family and this and that. Was that all a facade? Is it now that the bones are hanging from the trees and you can see evidence now? They can see evidence now? Is that why they're breaking ties with the family? Is that why we have broken branches in the reverse? let's see. Tell me about hanging bones. And we've got broken branches in the reverse. Okay. The King of Wands, knowing what is coming. They know what is coming down the pipeline. So they're free to break ties with the family, especially if they know that there's potential involvement, perhaps, or potential information that they want to keep from the family right now for a certain reason. I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just reading the cards. Under the deck, the Eight of Cups, y'all. This is emotionally breaking ties because they know what is coming. Enter at your own risk, baby. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Y'all, with the Ace of Pentacles, this is all about things to come, new opportunities. This is under the deck behind the Eight of Cups. See, they're breaking ties. They're cutting ties emotionally with the family because they know what's coming. They know what's coming. Why? What is the risk here? And there's a risk with that. It's the risk. We have the Tower, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Star. This is Nancy's energy. And we have the Eight of Swords. Oh my God. Somebody is going to jail. Somebody that is connected to this case that I feel perhaps there's going to be a Tower moment. There's going to be hitting the fan. With the Tower and the High Priestess, there's an energy of having an intuition or not wanting them to know, blocking them with the Eight of Swords, not wanting those connected to Nancy with the Star. That is her energy, Aquarius energy. This is crazy to me, y'all. But that's the energy that I'm getting. I feel like the FBI knows something, and they know something big. We're going to be finding out about it soon. Really soon. With the King of Pentacles. And Justice, y'all. Oh my God. With the Hangman. So, and the Queen of Cups. So there, okay. Okay. So there is a Queen of Cups energy that I feel like is hoping for a different outcome. But I feel like this is the holdout. I feel like there's an energy of protecting justice. There's energy of trying to preserve justice. And also with the Hangman and the Queen of Cups, I feel like they're stalling because of this Queen of Cups energy. So the Six of Wands, public. So yeah, there's an energy of this is a public matter, and they know that with that Ace of Wands, things are about to blow up, and they are trying to be mindful of, I feel like, one of the persons, but there's so many details with respect to this case. We need to preserve the facts and make sure that people aren't in cahoots. I'm sure they have a big job ahead of them if this is the case. I am going to tell you right now, this is huge. I didn't expect this in this reading. Okay, so I'm going to take this into a part 2, y'all, because there's so much more that I have. Oh my God. So I'm going to be coming back with the next big deep dive coming up in the next episode. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Please make sure you share this video with everybody. I love you guys so much, and I will be back with with another one coming up in just a bit. Bye.